Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, it's a week full of great winter sports tournament action. In the Coach's Corner, meet the man who in his first year just led Lawrence North to a girls basketball sectional title. Plus, our athlete of the week is a super sophomore, averaging a double-double for a historic basketball program.
Just getting another state ring, another city ring, and just trying to build history around our name.
It's time to celebrate. An all-new edition of The Zone Extra right now.
Good evening and welcome everyone to the Zone Extra. I'm Angela Morian. Thanks for spending the night with us. What a great week of high school sports it has been with postseason action in girls basketball, girls swimming, and boys wrestling. In the Coach's Corner tonight, after winning a sectional title last weekend, Lawrence North girls basketball coach Stephen Thomas joins me in studio for a conversation. Plus, our athlete of the week is just a sophomore, but a key piece of the city champion Crispus Attucks boys basketball team. Meet Desmond Briscoe tonight. Plus, we go on campus at Purdue after a record-setting performance from former Newcastle basketball standout Mason Gillis. Now, let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Saturday was sectional final night across Indiana in girls basketball. Rivals Fishers and HSE facing off. Second quarter, Tigers' Talia Harris hits the big three. Fishers goes up by 12. Third quarter, Royals coming back. Kennedy Holman out in open court. HSE down by 5 now. But if you're Fishers and you need a bucket, who do you turn to? Haley Smith. The three, the foul. Fishers wins 58-44. They face Homestead in the regional on Saturday. In sectional 11, Ben Davis taking on Franklin Central. Early on, Giants looking good. Zoe Wheeler knocks down this three. Ben Davis leads. Later in the quarter, Kristen Clark on the drive. Look at this. Gets it to go. Wow, off the glass. Kristen Carter off the miss here. The offensive rebound and the putback. Ben Davis wins 44-32. At Mount Vernon, the Marauders looking for a sectional title facing Hancock County rival New Pal. First quarter, Dragons finding the range from deep. Look at that pass and the shot. Isabella Gizzi buries the three. New Pal leads. Move to the third. Chloe Patterson knocks down the jumper. Mount Vernon would lead by 10 after 3. They advance with a 50-36 win. Up next for the Marauders, Ben Davis in the regional. So here are the Class 4A regional championship games that will be taking place at Decatur Central. At 1 o'clock, it's Lawrence North taking on Brownsburg. Then at 4, Ben Davis, Mount Vernon. Should be a great afternoon of hoops at Decatur Central. This is the first year of a new tournament format for basketball. This season, the regional round will be a single game, and the semi-state will be a 2-game format. IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig explained the reasoning for the change.
I think the fact that we're going to go through that tough sectional week, then we're going to let your team prepare for one game. And then that would take double the number of teams in the tournament a week longer. We would have twice as many regional champions. But then to make it to the state championship, you've got to play some basketball. And you get your team recovered a little bit. Then you have to play one game in the morning, one game at night. I think it would just build some excitement as we march towards that state championship,
which is just around the corner. Meanwhile, in girls swimming, postseason action is in full swing. Last week it was sectionals. This weekend, it's the state finals. Carmel goes for an incredible 37th consecutive state title if they can do it this weekend. Central Indiana teams bringing home sectional hardware, including Carmel, as well as Fishers, Delta, Brownsburg, Plainfield, Center Grove, and Western Boone. Action continues starting tomorrow night at the Natatorium with prelims and then the championship races on Saturday. In wrestling, the state tournament continued last weekend with regionals across the state as teams and wrestlers look to move one step closer to the big Gainbridge Fieldhouse night. Central Indiana well represented among the team regional champs last weekend. Congrats to Carmel, Center Grove, Warren Central, Columbus East, and Cathedral. The wrestling tournament continues with the semi-state round this Saturday at 4. Different sites throughout Indiana. Congrats and good luck to all the participants. Meanwhile, let's go back to hoops and boys basketball. The season rolls on. We are now less than 3 weeks away from the start of sectional action. The all-important sectional draw will take place on the 19th with tournament action starting on the 28th. Here's a look at the top 5 in the Class 4A boys basketball rankings this week. Ben Davis, the solid #1 from the beginning of the season, and now 3 weeks before sectionals, followed by Penn, Center Grove, Hammond Central, and Brownsburg rounding out the top 5. This is going to be some prime sectionals games here in a few weeks. Time for a break, but we have much more ahead on Zone Extra. Up next, it's the Coach's Corner. There he is. It's his first year in charge, and his Wildcats are the sectional champs. Lawrence North girls basketball coach Stephen Thomas is here in studio. And still ahead, he's a key reason his team is in the city champion on the hardwood. We'll introduce you to our Athlete of the Week from Crispus Adams.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender.
Welcome back to Zone Extra. I'm Angela Mori, and it's time now for our Coach's Corner. Joining me tonight is the fearless leader of Lawrence North girls basketball, Coach Stephen Thomas. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you guys.
It's been a great season for you. Your first season as head coach of the Wildcats. You've led them to 17-9 record, a sectionals win, and now you're getting ready to play in the regionals. Coach, what has been working for this Wildcats team this year?
The blueprint, I believe, in just our program left by Coach Giffen to me, to be honest, and our great senior leadership that we've had between Monica Williams, Lanaya Early, and Michaela Washington Cobb. I couldn't ask for better seniors to help me get my footing in this new role. But really, none of the support systems have dropped off when it comes to my administration. And again, Giff is again right across the hall. So definitely feel super supported by my community at Lawrence North.
On the court, who has been your superwoman, your go-to gal?
Monica Williams has been phenomenal for us all year. When we need something done, or if it's just a comment in the huddle, she's been that anchor for us. And again, like I said, going on to Ohio University next year, I couldn't be prouder of her and the season that she's had.
You've been with Lawrence North this is your 6th year, but like we said, your first as head coach. What is different about this squad that's gotten you so deep into the postseason?
They love each other. That's been the details of any great team, but you can just really see that and feel that with those ladies. As we were riding over to the sectional championship, my dad is an older school guy when it comes to things, and he wondered if it was too loud in the back, and I felt right at home with them because I'm like, there they are. There's the Wildcats. We're loose and we're ready to go and play and leave it all out there on the court.
That's exactly what you did this past weekend when you won the sectional championship for the first time in a couple years. What worked as we look at highlights of these 2 games? What was the key to winning this sectional championship?
They bought in. Our season has been very challenging with our schedule. We play a lot of great teams, and sometimes you get with the losses. Sometimes those weigh heavier. But we've kind of created it as just a story. We wrote this 2022-2023 story, and each chapter we've just tried to learn from each game. And in those games, I think in the sectional run, we really hung our hat on defense and rebounding. The ladies really bought into that, did a phenomenal job, and when it comes to that, there's a rhythm to it that then, shots start to fall and things start to click offensively. And we've had, great efforts from Kai Hurt that really helped us in that sectional run, along with, Kamara Mills and those other seniors that I said that are out there for us doing great things.
You say this is a book. You're writing the Lawrence North Wildcats book. What's been the most meaningful chapter of this book for you, Coach, this season?
Oh, man, I think it was the night of the draw for us. We had a watch party, and we're all there together, and it goes up on who we're going to play, and it, one of our seniors said, of course, it would be North Central. Somebody that we always run against, a great program in itself. And so, I think that moment, them together, And then followed by a speech by one of our seniors, Lanaya Early. You know, she's like, we've got everything, and we just have to lock in. And she's not one of many words, so that, you know, weighed heavy on the girls and our underclassmen. And that camaraderie, you know, was really out there on the floor at Lawrence Central during our sectional 10 win.
This might be a couple years since you won your last sectional, but the history of winning is long and deep at Lawrence North. Look at this, Coach. 13 sectional championships, 4 regional championships, 2-time state finalists, and of course that state championship in 2020. The last time you won the sectionals title was when you won the state championship.
Absolutely.
What similarities do you see with this team as with that team from 2020?
Playing our best basketball at the right time. That's something I've tried to preach to them and teach to them all season long. You know, this is a process, and we want to continue to get better, 1% better every day, 1 foot in front of and in front of the other. And that buy-in from those guys, and again, led by our seniors in the locker room and out there in practice, is shown through. And that's something that in our tradition of excellence at Lawrence North is something that we take pride in, and I'm very thankful for that.
What a first year this has been for you as head coach. Personally, what have the emotions been like this year for you?
I've tried to be a duck, you know, just calm on the surface and just kicking. The girls love when I wear my duck socks to the games, because they know that message. They know, you know, what I'm trying to get across is, you know, you got to be calm on the surface, even if you're nervous underneath. And you know, that's just kind of what the season's been for me, as everything's been at first, you know, for me as a first-year head coach. So again, I just can't, you know, be appreciative enough for my team, my ladies, my coaching staff, everybody that's bought into me and helped me be successful.
Well, you're kicking a great team forward, Coach. You've set the bar very high for your first year as head coach of the Lawrence North Wildcats. Coach, thank you. You play Brownsburg this weekend in the regionals. Quickly, what's the key?
Oh, they have a great program. We run into them every time that we go to regionals. It's a team that we have to play. Avery Gordon, their center, their post player. She's a dynamic sophomore. Got to keep her off the block. Got to keep her off the boards. And their point guard, number 10, Caitlin Terrell. You know, she's the engine that gets everybody involved and going. So, you know, if we can, you know, dial in on those and there are other great, you know, talented players that surround those ladies, it's going to be a defensive battle and something that, you know, we're trying to continue to work at and put 1 foot in front of the other and taking pride in.
I say quickly, and this is the biggest game of your season, I have to tell you. And quickly, wrap it up. But thank you, Coach. We really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Still much more ahead on the Zone Extra. It's our Athlete of the Week. He's the super sophomore, averaging a double-double for Crispus Attucks. Up next, meet Desmond Briscoe. Plus, we go on campus with former Newcastle High School basketball star and current Purdue Boilermaker, Mason Gillis. Stay with us.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
It means something to me. I was so glad to get this. Let's go! Let's go!
That pure emotion, you gotta love it. Welcome back to the Zone Extra. I'm Angela Moran. Last month, Crispus Attucks won the boys basketball city tournament title over defending champion Cathedral. One of the key reasons for the Tigers' success was that sophomore, Desmond Briscoe. The city title game, Briscoe went head-to-head with Cathedral star Xavier Booker, and Briscoe got the best of the matchup, leading Crispus Attucks with 21 points. On the season, Briscoe is averaging a double-double with 15.5 points and 10.5 rebounds. He also leads the team in blocked shots on the season. Briscoe says the success of the Tigers on the floor is great, but he isn't satisfied yet.
This season going great for me, you know. City championship game, played against 5-star, commit to Michigan State. I feel like I did great. Show my performance the whole game. It was special for us, you know. Last year it looked bad. It looked bad last year, so we have to pick it up this year.
His brother played on our state championship team, Derek Briscoe. So when I first met him, he was just a fat, chubby kid drinking Pepsis. And so to see where he's at now, I mean, he's just a great kid, very personable. He's a jokester. But like when it's time to play and it's time to compete, he takes it serious. There's not one thing that you say, hey, he's just a low post player. He's very versatile, can get up and down the floor, beat kids down the floor.
This is a really great program. I've been wanting to come here. I just want to get another banner on there, get another state ring, another city ring, and just trying to build history around our name.
I don't know about the Pepsis, but he for sure isn't a fat, chubby kid anymore. Congratulations. Continue the great work at Crispus Attucks. All right, time for a break. Still more to come on the Zone Extra, including our Play of the Week. It's a little different this week. Plus, it's the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. Stay with us.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. I'm Angela Morian. Now it's time to go on campus where we catch up with a former Central Indiana high school athlete as they compete at the college level. This week, we go up to West Lafayette and Purdue. Last week against Penn State, former Newcastle basketball star and current Boilermaker junior Mason Gillis made history. Against the Nittany Lions, Gillis set a Mackey Arena record, knocking down 9 three-pointers in a single game as the top-ranked Purdue earned a 20-point win. Gillis set a career high with 29 points and says the support of his team was a big reason for the historic win.
For me, it just shows to keep working. You know, I haven't had the same season as last year or the type of season I've wanted, but the coaches have just told me to keep working. I tell myself to keep working. Kind of just prove to myself that I can do it in game. I mean, I do it every single day, so there's no reason I can't make shots. Sometimes it's more of like a self-confidence thing. I kind of hesitate whenever tonight. The first couple ones went in, and I was like, I'm going to just keep shooting it.
Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner, where we take your burning questions to Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. This week is Super Bowl week, so what else are we going to ask him about? But hey, Paul Neidig, what's your favorite Super Bowl memory?
As we all know, we're from Indiana, and you can't, I don't know that you can be a football fan in Indiana. And I know people will argue with me, but Super Bowl 41, and when the Colts brought it all the way down in Miami to a Super Bowl championship when they beat the Chicago Bears 29-17, that whole thing and what it meant for this state was just phenomenal. And I think the Irsay family do such an incredible job in this state with a multitude of things, and to see their organization win a state champ or a national or a Super Bowl is just phenomenal. And I think that's probably my favorite memory. And certainly the hosting job that this great city did when they hosted the Super Bowl would be close second to that. But it's got to be the Colts coming through all the way in Super Bowl 41.
Super Bowl Sunday will be live in Phoenix all week long. Now, it's time to take a look at our Play of the Week. Each week we feature one of the top plays from the world of high school sports in Central Indiana. Normally we do a single top play, but how about several plays? Freshman sophomore, Jalen Harrelson, what a night Tuesday against Anderson. He goes for 48 points on, wait for it, 20 of 24 shooting. Wow. The 48 points are a school record. Congratulations to him. Our crews see a lot of great action, but we want to see your best plays every week too, so make sure you send those in to us. And My Indy TV 23 is the place to be for the best high school sports action every Friday night. Coming up tomorrow night, the MIC title is on the line at Ben Davis as the top-ranked Giants host Lawrence North. You can see all the action live on My Indy TV 23 tomorrow starting at 7:30. And it's a big night of high school hoops action across Central Indiana as the season hits the home stretch. We will have all the great action on the Zone tomorrow night starting at 11:08. Let's talk about some of the games we will be covering tomorrow on the Zone. We got Lawrence North and Ben Davis, as we just said, Fishers versus Cathedral, North Central versus Pike, Hamilton Southeastern and Carmel, and Lebanon versus Zionsville. This is going to be a fantastic show as we round the season up before sectionals play starts in a few weeks. That's going to do it for the Zone Extra tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to tune in again next Thursday night for a brand new episode.